Hello friends, welcome back to another Alpha League sesh with me, IVB. I know that it's been a while, but we do have the mother of all alphas today. On this video, we're going to cover how you could potentially receive upwards of 1 million near in delegation. You may be wondering like, what? Yes, it is possible thanks to a new product release from Metapool called Meta Staking Vote. But let's take it step by step. First, we're going to have a really quick overview of what is Metapool. Then we're going to have a really quick overview of what is liquid staking. Then we're going to start unpacking how meta staking works. There's going to be a lot of game theory there, a lot of opportunities. And then finally, we're going to do a step by step so that you could send this video to your grandmother and she too could receive a portion of the million near to be distributed. So let's jump right in. As you may have heard, Metapool is the first and best liquid staking solution on the Near protocol. What is liquid staking, you may be asking? Well, Near is a proof of stake blockchain, which means that to maintain the network secure, you must deposit Near on validators as they secure transactions. But there is a problem, and here is where liquid staking becomes very handy. When you deposit your Near with a validator, there's nothing else you can do with it. And there are so many juicy opportunities out there, yes, even in this bear market, that it becomes a problem. So liquid staking enables you to both deposit your Near with a validator and earn staking rewards at the moment just downwards of 10% per year and receive ST Near. ST Near is this magical token which enables you to both maintain your Near with a validator, earning your Near, and take that ST Near elsewhere to play with DeFi. You could take loans on Borrow Cash, you could provide liquidity on RefFi. Now, you may have heard all of this, but there is one question that you may not have asked yourself. How does Metapool delegate the Near that is given to it across all the validators? We can see that at the moment, Metapool is delegating to 68 of just over 115 validators. And the answer is, there is a criteria to select the validators, and the criteria includes their performance, whether they are online, and it also includes the amount of concentration. So we want the network to be nice and evenly spread out, as well as the amount of fees. Validators with lower fees are more likely to receive more delegation. Now we're getting very close to meta staking vote. Over time, there is one question that validators ask over and over again. Is there anything that we could do to receive more delegation from Metapool? And the answer has always been, send us some foot pics, right? Nah. There is one solution that the engineers have devised. Enter Meta Staking Vote. So I'll give you a really quick glimpse of what Meta Staking Vote looks like. This bad boy launched today. You're getting in hot on the action. So what we're seeing on the screen right now is a Meta Staking Vote dashboard. And the first thing that should jump at you is that we have a leaderboard. These are all the validators are currently active on Near, and they're currently being sorted by the validators that have received the most amount of votes. So we can see here that Stardust has received 24% of the delegation, which means that they are being assigned 300,000 extra Near. The current amount of Near delegated to them by Metapool is 75,000. So that is a whopping, I don't even know what percentage increase, but that is a pretty good deal. And you may be wondering, Jesus damn Christ, how do I get in on the action? Well, this is where things get good. So the way in which you can vote on Meta Staking Vote is by getting voting power through locking Meta. And I know that at this stage, things get a little bit complicated because, well, we kind of named everything the same, but it's okay. Bear with me. We can do this together. If you want to get voting power, you have to go to Metavote. Metavote sounds similar to Meta Staking Vote, but it is a separate step, so bear with me. On Metavote.app, you will be able to lock your Meta and receive voting power. And then on Meta Staking Vote, you'll be able to delegate that voting power to each individual validator. But before we jump on the step by step, let's just take a moment to appreciate the fascinating game dynamics that arise from this setup. So Metapool will be delegating up to 15% of the total NEAR they currently hold. At the moment, that is upwards of 1,250,000 NEAR to be distributed. And the other really cool thing that I really like is that it's not a winner takes all scenario. No. You can actually see the percentage of votes that a validator has received is actually a proportional percentage of the NEAR that will be delegated to them. So you may have thought that our poor fellows over at Republic were losing because they only have 5.13% of the votes, but that's not the case at all. That means that even though they have a very small percentage of the delegation, they still receive 64,000 additional NEAR. And to put things into perspective, the Stake Wars winners are receiving anywhere between 20 to 50,000 NEAR, and the seed price right now is only 20,000 NEAR. So what we can see with these numbers is that right now there is a brilliant opportunity to increase your delegation significantly. Now, you may be wondering, who is this relevant to? Well, I think there are three main customer segments. The first one would be everyday users. You and I have Meta, you have Meta. What can we do with it? Well, that has been a very good question for a very long time. And finally, we're able to use the Meta for community voting, community participation, and you could search through this list and see if you identify any validators that you align with, for instance, Open Shards Alliance. They're doing fantastic work in keeping the network secure. I personally really like the NEAR Week validator because they're doing a lot of work to support content creators. Whatever the case may be, there was actually a validator pitch today held by Metapool. I believe the recording will be uploaded on their YouTube channel, and I believe that there will be more of these pitch instances so that we can really get to know who the validators are, and you can go and support them. Remember that validators earn a tiny fee from your rewards, and the price of NEAR, it's not the highest it's been. So it's actually tough business these days. If you could give them a tiny bit of support, that would probably go a very long way. Now, the second customer segment is where it gets super spicy. Because if you, hypothetically, are a validator, if you're currently running a node on NEAR, then you probably have a very strong vested interest in increasing delegation. And at the moment, you could almost open a spreadsheet and do some maths. If I delegate 185,000, that's actually 185,000 voting power, which is not, it doesn't correlate one-to-one to Meta. We'll touch on that in a minute. But whatever, if you were to delegate X amount of Meta, and you can receive X amount of additional NEAR, and I earn X percentage fees on that NEAR, and the price of NEAR is whatever, you can basically do a back of the envelope calculation of how much money would it be worth for you to invest in Meta to receive extra NEAR delegation and increase the bottom line. So this creates a really interesting game theory whereby validators may have different unit economics, they may have different ambition to how much they can grow, and I guess, not financial advice, it could also create an incentive for validators to want to accumulate some Meta earlier on, because as demand increases over time, presumably the price could fluctuate as well. Not financial advice, I do not know any maths. This dialect has been created by ChatGPT. I have no say as to what I'm saying right now. Please do not sue me. Now, the third category is where things get even more spicy. And this is where potentially I come in, but I'm not, but I could. What if you're watching this video right now and realizing that there's a million NEAR out there to be taken? And why the hell not could it be me? I mean, you. Well, this now creates a real pathway for new validators to go on mainnet and then delegate themselves more Meta. At the moment, the price of a seat is only 20,000 NEAR, which now it's still a large amount, but it is a lot more accessible than it's been in the past. And if there is a prospect to significantly increase the amount of NEAR delegated to your node, which completely changes the unit economics, then we're talking. Okay, I think that I've said enough. What we're going to do right now is step by step how to delegate. So the first thing that you should do is to get some meta. The market to get meta on Near is on Ref Finance. So you would, let's do it here. So we search for meta. Let's see, I've got a tiny bit of a senior in there. Let's swap it all. Fantastic. So now that I have some meta fresh, spicy off Ref Finance, the second step is to go to Metavote.app. As I mentioned before, Metavote.app is actually that generic hub where you stake your meta. So you may be able to see on the screen that I already had some voting power, and we're going to add some more. When I mentioned before that meta doesn't correlate one-to-one to voting power is because the voting power changes based on how long you lock it for. So if I deposit 2,446 meta for 90 days, I get 4,620. If I do less days, so 30 days would be the bare minimum, which gives me the one-to-one. But if you go full Degen mode like me, and you go, what's the maximum? 300 days, you get 12,230, which would be about 5 times the voting power. So let's lock that. Awesome. So I've got some fresh voting power. And now we go back to the meta staking vote application. Now that we've done the maths and we turned just under 2,500 meta into approximately 12,500 meta, what's that, a 4x, a 5x? Let's do some maths here because this shit's pretty wild. Stardust is getting 300,000 Near delegated to them, and they only have 871. This is very small font, so I need to talk to our designer. They only have 871,000 voting power, which could be, if we divide that by 5, that would be like 150,000 Near, which is really not that much. So basically, this is a major bargain at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I've been scrolling through the list of validators to see if I can identify any. And I've identified an old friend, Cryptogaric. So what I'm going to do is delegate some meta voting power to him. And if you're a validator and you're watching this, leave me a comment with the name of your pool and I'll try to drop by and give you some support as well. Let's use 69,000 voting power. We have 71,000 available. Let's just use max. Let's be adults for once, okay? It's a bear market for sake. Okay, so vote for this validator. All you have to do is confirm transaction success, and it seems like it automatically recalculates everyone's stake. We can see that the Stardust stake has reduced from over 300,000 to just a little bit less. And let's scroll down. Good old Cryptogaric, buy me a beer next time you see me. With only 1.95% of the votes, I have just given you, fine sir, an extra 24,399. What to do now? Voting opened just a couple of hours ago, so expect this leaderboard to get out of control. Voting will be conducted over the next 3 days into the weekend, and the delegations will actually occur Monday. There's actually a really good reason for that. When you delegate Near into a validator, to withdraw the Near, it takes about 2 days. It could be 2 to 4 days, several epochs. So constantly redistributing Near could actually be could create a lot of friction. And the protocol doesn't earn any fees. So we're giving enough time for everyone to get their votes in and hopefully have most of the Near delegated in such a way that it will stay there for a while, and then it's only minor redistributions over time. So I hope that you find this information useful. If you enjoy this content, make sure that you subscribe. It may seem like I don't post videos very often, but there is actually a lot on the pipeline, including a major upgrade to Ref Finance next week, which you do not want to miss out. So without further ado, I'll let you go. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you.